All right, welcome to Mr. Max Live session number 4, because today's Wednesday, the 17th, all day long. My voice sounds amazing. I'm here with 10,000 irresponsible young men and women, guys, gals, non-binary pals. My students that are trying to scramble and learn 16 weeks of content in like 3 hours. That's the challenge. So hashtag Math Cram Challenge 2025. So we're starting with quiz 2 because the people have spoken, and I am of course the people's warrior, so we will do what the people say. We're gonna do requests today. If you want to watch like all of them being done, the other videos, according to Mars, and I think Mars is right, should have at some point in those videos all of chapter 2, all of chapter 1, all of chapter 3, all of chapter 4, all of chapter 5, all the intermediates and the basics. Okay, so you can watch that and you can get that. So if we don't get to it, that's your option, or you got the next 2 sessions on Thursday, right? So there's that. So we're taking requests. Would anybody like on chapter 2 anything on the first page? I don't want to hear no's. I just want to hear yeses. Yes. 212B. This one gets everybody. Landry was confused by this earlier. And it's because you guys have a tendency not to write out stuff and replace. You need to write it out and leave a space for S. So fam, what did they tell us S is? -4. So we're going to replace S with -4. Whenever you plug something in, you're going to wrap it in parentheses. Now, this means -9 times -4, right? What is -9 times -4? And now I want the multiplicative half of 36, which is 6. Yep. All right. That was kind of fast. I'll try to slow down. Grady has already assumed the position. He is rubbing his forehead against the table, with the table. He's got nothing better to do. Anybody else for anything on this page? For sure? Please speak up. If you're here, you deserve to be heard. Okay. We can always come back, but seriously. Thank you. 221B. Okay. What are we doing here? Adding, right? A lot of you guys think we're distributing. We're not. Distribution only happens with timesing. Just because it's in parentheses doesn't mean to distribute. So we're getting 3. And we're going to add it with its like term. So 27 and 3 you can add together, right? What's that? 30. I feel like my live studio audience is a little distracted today, but that's okay. Notice this is -3x, and we're going to add it with -19x's. So if I'm at -3 and I add 19, that would send it up, right? But if I'm adding a negative, it's going to send it down. So again, I'll say it again. If you add a regular number, it sends it up, right? But see, I'm adding a negative. That's going to send it down. So I'm on -3, and I'm going down 19. That'll be -21x's. Don't lose your x's. Stalk them on Instagram. Raven. Ember. Well, I'm shouting out to your sister because I know she watches these too. I am. She's nosy just like you, so she does watch. Chloe fell asleep listening to one of these last night. For 10 minutes, and she paused it. The ASMR was good? Very choice? I bet. Yeah, you watched it with sound off. ASMR with no sound, huh? Subtitles only? All right, any with sound on. Okay. Are there any others you'd like to see on this page? Okay. What about on this page? Can I get a yes on any of these on this page? Yes, I can. One of the reasons it's nice to have a copy in front of you is so you can see that entire page in front of you, because I know it's kind of hard to see. All right, cool. I'm going to page 2 now. Are there any requests off of page 2? Let's look at the top half of 2. Any requests for A, B, C, or D? Okay, I didn't hear any yeses, so I'm going to move on. B? Okay. Well, first off, this means timesing, because there's no plus or minus here, right? So we're going to do 16 times 4, which is 40, and 24. That's 64, right? I bet a lot of you guys have 16 times 4 memorized by now because you've done it so often in here. X squared times x to the 5th. How many x's are multiplying here? 7 x's, right? because this means x times x times x times x times x times x times x. Cool? All right. Any questions on that? Would anybody like to see any of the other three up here? No? Please speak up. Please. Okay. Would anybody like to see the bottom four here? Any of these bottom four? Part A for this one. This is p to the 7th divided by p squared. Let me show you the logic. P to the 7th means this. 7p is being multiplied. P squared means this. Do you see this is all multiplication and division? So we can divide first if we want. P's divide out to 1s. Anything divided by itself is 1. And so in the top, we just get how many p's left over. So p to the 5th times 1 is just p to the 5th. 1 times 1 on the bottom, that's just p to the 5th, right? Okay. Does anybody want to see any of the others? Part B. Ladies, if you have a calculator question, I can't answer it. What's the question? Do you see how I factored 25 and 30? Why did I choose to write it as 5 times 5 and 5 times 6? Yeah, the 5s divide out, right? They divide out to 1s. There is a common factor between 25 and 30, and so this just simplifies to 5 over 6, right? It's just simplifying a fraction, 5 over 6, 25 over 30. And then all of the z's in the top divide out. Do you see that? All of the z's divide out except for how many? Except for how many in the bottom? 4 in the bottom. It's out of frame, my bad. Thank you. Well, I can't hear, so. So all 3 z's divide out, and there will be 4 left over in the bottom. Location matters. All right, so Gritty, you're like 100% good on these. Yeah. Okay, for sure. Like you could do these in your sleep. Because you might as well just pay attention, right? I'm worried. High schoolers don't always make good decisions, so it worries me. But you do you. I'm not your mom. All right. Shout out to Grady's mom. All right, anyway. Either of these, yes or no? Either of these? Yes? Divide by 3 once. Divide by 5 3 times. Yeah, it is. Thank you. Okay. Any of these 4 on page 3? Yes? 233b? Okay. This says factor. Factoring is very similar to division, but it's not the same. What common factor do these share? They don't share anything between the 7 and the 30. What do they share? Nope. Nope. 7 times what? Thank you. 6 times what is 30? It's brutal. All right. 6 times what is 35? But is 6 times something 7? Not anything nice. She said B, right? Okay. So what common factor do they share? They share a factor of x, don't they? This is 7 times x, and this is 30 times x. So they share a factor of x. That's it. That's all we can factor out. That's it. There's nothing left. I didn't hear what you said. Was it important? Okay. Good. Sorry. All right. Does anyone want to see part A or B up here? Can you bring it over here? This one? Why can't we just subtract these? Wait, in this or this? No, you just times everything by 42x. Right? Because 7 times 6 is 42.
Yes, but it's not, it doesn't divide out. It's 42 over 25.
Maybe. But if you times this by 42x, you're going to get 18x on the right side. Okay. All right, so we can multiply by lots of things, but do you see if I do x over x? This is going to get them to match. This is going to give us 3 over 7x minus 6x squared over 7x And now they have common denominators. The reason we have to do this is because this is not an equation. You can't just multiply to get rid of fractions. Right? So if we times by x over x is 1. And that won't change the problem. It'll just make it look different. Do you see how this would simplify back to the original? Right? The x's would divide out, right? And we get back to the original. We didn't change anything. We just made it look different. But now we can write it all over 7x. 3 minus 6x squared all over 7x. And that is a single fraction, so we win. That's the idea. I mean, it is, because you can't take out an x from both. Yeah. This is simplified. You can't divide out an x from both. You can't divide out 7. Yeah, because then you factor out a 3 and then divide, yeah. Yeah, you're getting better. All right, now we're on the intermediates for 2. Would anybody like any of these two? C? Okay. So, fam, you really, really, really need to just replace R with parentheses. It's okay that there's double parentheses. Stop panicking. It will be fine. Get good at this. If you do calculus, and if you're an 8th grader in Algebra 1, you will be doing calculus, you're going to have lots of parentheses. In fact, everybody's going to do pre-calc as well, probably. So you just need to get used to have lots of parentheses. Problems are complex. So R is 3, right? So here we are. I can't. Now, do you distribute squares? No, you do not distribute squares. Yes, ma'am? Yes, absolutely. You don't need to ask. So this means 9, right? Okay, thank you. And then 3 plus 1 is 4. So this represents 4 squared, which is a fun game to play outside, but more importantly, it's 16, right? Can we root these individually? No. You don't get 3 and 4 and get 7. Sorry. You have to add, then root. You have to combine like terms and then root. So that gets us this, right? Answer's 5. You cannot root these when they're like this. Sorry. It has to be all one term. Oh, boy. I can get it for you in a second. Do you see how this represents that? You see how there's separate terms? Okay, cool. Did somebody steal all my candy? 49 over 149 is 49. I don't know where my candy is. Maybe Andy took it. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's right here. It's right here. Here. From the band. 70 divided by 5 is 10 plus 4, so 14. These divide out, and we get 5, right? Minus 3, which is dose. Mars isn't here to yell at me when this thing goes off center, so you have to do it. The whole thing is off center. I don't know what happened, but like my thing that I have to guide me is off. So I'm going to make mistakes. All right. Does anybody want to see this one? These two? Okay. S is negative 4. Fam, this is the one everybody misses, so everybody should be watching this one. Replace S with parentheses. If you don't do that, you're going to make a lot of little mistakes. S is negative 4. So when I do that, I get this. This means I want negative 4 squared. What is negative 4 squared? But I want the negative version of that. So it's negative 16. Are you following me? Oh, by the way, this shouldn't be an equal sign. It should be a plus sign. This is a typo. I've said that like multiple times now. But that's okay. So now this becomes negative 32, right? And then that becomes negative 44. So negative 44. Yeah, that shouldn't be an equal sign. It should be a plus sign. Sorry, it was a typo. That should be a plus sign, not an equal sign. Yeah, it's just on this one quiz.
So it won't be on the final?
No.
Okay.
I can't promise there will be no mistakes, but I'll do the best I can. Yeah. No, what I'm saying is that it had an equal sign there, which was a typo on the quiz, but it won't be a typo on the final. I mean, if it is, I'll fix it. We had issues with the 8th graders final previously because Google Drive hates me. Right, it's all of that divided by 3. I used probably too many parentheses, so my old math teacher is making fun of me right now, but that's okay. We get this, which is negative 4. Are we okay with that? Negative 4 minus 8 is going to be negative 12, right? We're on negative 4, we take away 8. Yes? Cooper, are you okay? On one you're working on right now, or do you need me to answer it, or what? Okay. I mean, if you're quick. All right. I'm turning the page. Think about whether you want to see either of these 4. Yeah, what's up, Cooper? So this one right here. Ah, got it. So we know this is true, right? So if we rearrange this with t and x, switch, and I think you had something like that, that will get plugged in here. So it's not 6 minus x. It's going to be something else, right? Does anybody want to see either of these 4? C and D on these? Oh boy, so we're doing all of them? I'm already cut you guys off. All right, this is 8x to the 8th over 6x to the 4th. Now, can I simplify that? Absolutely. What common factor do 8 and 6 share? They share a factor of 2. It turns into 4 times 2 and 3 times 2. 2's divide out. Are you following me? And then all of the x's divide out except 4 on top. Boom. Boom. Kentucky, how you feeling? How you feeling, Kentucky? No, I did. Because he's from Kentucky. Shut up, Liz. You're embarrassing me. Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's obeying the rules. Hold on.
My roommate told me, am I wrong? Because
X is 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, this one. I'm going to write it like this. I'm not even going to multiply it yet. I'm just going to literally write it like this. Because it's the same thing. This might help you. Do you see how we can times and divide in any order we want? What's 24 divided by 3? 8 over 1. What's 5 divided by 15? 1 over 3. How many t's do we have in the top? 11. And how many do we have in the bottom? So all of these divide out in the bottom, except for one of the t's in the top, right? Are you following me? 11 t's, 10 t's. So we get 8 times 1 times t, which is 8t, and 3 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 3. Thank you. So I just times them without actually timesing them, right? That's how I put them all together. Giant division bar. It's all one term. And then I notice 24 divided by 3 works nicely. It's all one term, so I can do that. No pluses, no minuses. 1 over 3, because it's all one term, no pluses, minuses. And then 11 t's on the top, 10 t's on the bottom, so 1 t left over on top. Pretty slick, huh? You can do that. It's an equation every term. It'd have to be 7 over 7 if you really want. Thank you. All right, does anybody want to see 224, C and D? Dividing or timesing by x to the negative third is the same thing as dividing by x to the negative third. It's this. This is the same thing as this. Dividing by x to the negative fourth, same thing as timesing by x to the positive fourth. Yeah. Division and multiplication are reciprocals, right? Dividing by x to the negative fourth, dividing by division is the same thing as timesing, right? This one, timesing by x to the negative third means divide by x 3 times, right? So we're timesing by x 8 times, or dividing by x 8 times. 3 times and 5, right? That's what negatives mean. They mean division, right? Negative exponents mean division. This one's kind of weird because we're already dividing, but that's how it works. You could also write it like this: 4 divided by 1 over x to the fourth. How many times does 1 over x to the fourth fit into 4? This many times, but that's the idea. Timesing by the reciprocal, that type of deal. All right. Any others on this page? Okay. Next page. What do we think? Here's how you handle roots. This is a square root, right? So it's asking for multiplicative halves. First off, you know the multiplicative half of t to the sixth. What's the multiplicative half of t to the sixth? T cubed, yeah, t to the third. However, 96 you probably don't know. Well, it is divisible by 2, although can you see that it's also divisible by 4? 4 times 25 gets you 100, right? So 4 times what gets you 96? 24. We're becoming better thinkers. That'll be quicker than doing 2 and 2 and 2. I know the multiplicative half of 4. What's the multiplicative half of 4? 2. Okay. So that becomes this. Here, I'll use color. So this becomes this, right? Multiplicative half of 4 is 2. And then 24 I can write as 6 times 4. Why did I choose 6 times 4? Because I know the multiplicative half of 4, it's another 2. And yeah, they're timesing when they get out of the root because they were timesing before. So that's 4 t to the third root 6. Because root 6 you can't simplify anymore, right? Yeah. You break down to 3 and 2 and you get stuck. All right. I will also do part B. This is the cube root of 125. Does anybody know the cube root of 125 off the top of their head? It's 5. It is 5. But let's pretend you didn't know it. You would write it as 5 times 25, right? And that breaks down into 5 times 5 times 5. What's the cube root of that? The cube root of this is just 5, right? Cube roots are asking for the multiplicative third. So a third of this would be 5, right? There's 3 of them. Now, what about the x to the 12th? We never dealt with that. X to the what? What's a third of x to the 12th? X to the 4th, right? So our final answer will be 5x to the 4th, and we rooted everything, so that's it, right? Four, because it's 3/4. Yeah, and that'll make you 3. Times 4 is 3. All right. Questions? Okay. Would anybody like to see page 7?
I'd like to see
Part B.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out. I want to show you something that's going to make your life a lot easier. What are we doing here? Are we timesing? Are we distributing? No, we are not. What are we doing? Minusing. So we're going to take all this and minus all that. Here's what you can do to make it easier. Distribute the negative. If I distribute the negative, that's negative r squared. That's negative 7r. And that's positive 5. And now I just do what it says. The reason this works is because negating something is the same thing as timesing by negative 1. They're saying negate this. That makes it a lot easier. Because that negative could be thought of like this. And now it just says what we do, right? So let's combine like terms. What will happen if I combine these? 0, right? Anything minus itself is 0. We'd have to do timesing to get to the 4th, right? All right, so that's gone. I'm not even going to write it. Don't write r squared. That means 1r squared. We have 0, right? What about 3r and negative 7r? Negative 4r. We're getting better. We're getting better at that. If I have negative 2, so I'm down 2, and I go up 5, where am I at now? Up 3, yep, positive 3. That's, well, we can't combine these, can we? It's because you guys are bad at the negatives, yes. Yes, you may, but I'm quickly running out. So if I run out, I'm sorry. But yes, yes. If I have them, yes. Yes. I thought I ordered another package, but I guess I didn't. Yeah. Hey, same thing on this last one. Can I show you it? What if we distribute the negative t? That works, right? So I'll distribute the 3 and get 3t plus 21. And if I distribute the negative t, I get negative t squared minus 9t. Pause and think about that for a second. Do you see how I got that? So now, negative t squared, that doesn't combine with anything because you can't combine t's with t squareds. But I can combine these. What's 3 of them minus 9 of them? Negative 6 of them. Right, we're on 3, we're taking away 9. It's going to come out negative. And then positive 21 is just positive 21. It has nobody to go with. It's like you at the dance, right? Shots fired. Shots fired. It's you at the dance. It has nobody to go with.
Thank you.
That's right. Ooh. Grady, you're kind of funny. You're not funny, but you're kind of funny. And that's good. That's pretty good for a freshman. All right. Fam, these we say we're going to factor these. Does anybody want to see these? Would you like to see them? Kentucky's falling asleep. I'll do it really quickly. Oh no, I could have taken out 9. Nine z times the quantity of z squared minus 3z plus z, or 3. Hmm. You can, yes. Are we running out of hand sanitizer? Oh, it's time to get out the big bottle. I had to hide this from Gus Mumford because he was in the bathroom. Where's the hidden big bottle? Did I already get rid of it? No, but I do have a small one. Oh wait, no, this is the big one. I had to hide it because again, Gus was taking the bathroom and the ball and the board and be all wet. All right. I don't ask questions I don't want to know the answer to. Depends. You're getting too comfortable. Do your best. That's all you can do, right? Do your best. Can you do more than your best? No, so if you do your best, then whatever happens, happens. You have to learn how to cope like that. I know. I know. We have to learn. This is part of growing. That's your next thing. All right. Two cubed is 8. 2 cubed is 8, yes. No. You're welcome. All right. A and B down here, yes or no? All right. We'd love to divide these to simplify, but we need to factor first because there's multiple terms. What common term do they have in the top? And I'm left with this, and that's the best I can do. That works nicely because what can we divide out from the bottom now? Yeah. There isn't an x in both terms, so I can't do that. Well, we'd love to divide by x, but are there x in both terms? No. If you really wanted to, you could divide this one, and then 5 divided by x would be 5 over x. But who wants to do that, right? In this one, what common factor does the top have? And?
R.
So we're left with this. I'm going to rewrite the bottom as this. Do you see why?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because then I can divide by 3R.
And we get r squared minus 7 over 3r.
Wow.
Thank you. Oh, hold on. Mm-hmm. We finally got him. Apparently your variables didn't matter. They all cancel out anyway, right? All right, turning the page. Does anybody want to see anything on page 9?
Yes.
All right. All right, after this I'm going to be pickier. All right, why do we need to do for these? What do we need? We need common denominators, right? We cannot multiply by 7 to get rid of the denominator. Do you know why? It's not an equation. If you times by 7, it makes it 7 times bigger. But it's not equaling anything, so it'll make the numbers different. So what we're going to do is times by t over t and 7 over 7. And what that will do for us is get us 2t squared over 7t plus 63 minus 14t. And if I write it as one fraction, now that they have one denominator, I get this. Right, adding 63 is adding 63. Adding negative 14 is just, minusing 14.
Do you use that same concept for every single one on these?
Yes, if it was a minus sign here, I'd have to minus 63 and add 14, right? T? Yeah. Yeah, but that's the idea. Okay. This one down here, are we ready for it?
Yeah.
What do we need to combine these? Common denominators. 2 over 2 would be a good idea. And then multiplying by what?
I think multiply by T on the
T over T. Not T, but T over T. Because timesing by 1 doesn't change anything. But it's really important. It's really important, right? Because a lot of you guys do the wrong thing at the wrong time because you're not thinking. So if we do this, we get 6t minus 2 over 6t cubed plus, are you guys seeing that?
Yeah.
5t, and the bottom better be 6t cubed. It is. That's why we did it. So our common denominator is 6t cubed. And if we add 5t to this, hey, we can combine those. What's 6t plus 5t? 11t. So go
I think
away.
that's why I kept getting it wrong. 'Cause it combined.
It could have been. I'm not super picky. All it says is single fraction, so I would have accepted it. Yeah. It doesn't say simplify.
So you'll always accept it if I didn't simplify on the test?
If it says simplify, you have to simplify. If it doesn't, you don't. All good. It doesn't say simplify. If it said simplify, you gotta. Now, over here, a lot of you guys are addicted to distribution. This is super common for math students. I know you're like, oh my God, I want to distribute, but don't, because what do we multiply this by, top and bottom? What over what? X minus 1, right? Yeah. So we get this thing which isn't touched, plus 2 times x minus 1, quantity of x minus 1. And the bottom is this, because they match. That's why we did it.
Can you distribute the top or
You can, but it doesn't say simplify, so who cares? Right? So if you want to, you can just do this. If you distributed, you get 2x and 3x, which makes 5x, and this would be minus 2, but like, who cares? Are we thinking, or are we just jotting stuff down? Okay, make sure we are. Make sure we are. That's what's important. If you're not doing the thinking, then you're not doing the learning. It's that simple. All All right, now we're on the spicy stuff, so I'm going to skip that because I'm tired of doing them all in order. Apparently, we need the intermediates, so we're not ready for the spicies. Okay? So, I'm done with 2. What other quiz do we want to do?
Okay, I need to see one problem on chapter 3.
Okay. Does anybody else need a problem from chapter 3?
I just need to see 3 through 5.
Is this the one? No, it's not.
I should have like Wyatt ask for what.
Wait, sorry, just like it's a quiz now. Because I just need like 2 problems for a quiz.
Did anyone listen? Thank you. Did anyone listen to either of the 2 videos I posted last night? Madison is a outer one. So you listened to the one from last night? You did. Okay, she's saying there's no audio, but that sounds like a her issue. Madison Wilcox. So there is for sure? Okay, good. I thought so. All right.
No, not really.
0 A capital R math teacher. All one word. Not a real math teacher.
This one, I need this one.
Bring it here.
It's not on
It's not on the.
this is
You need one that's not on the final? Who cares? Skip it. It's not on the final. You're fine.
I know, but I need the entrance question.
No, I'm not. Oh my God. Stop. It's the same one that Lexi was talking about. So if they're the same equation, then they'd have infinite solutions. So what do you need to do to make it look like the same equation? And what does A need to be?
I gotta change
Yeah, and then A is gonna be like negative 40, I think. All right, Grady, what do you want to see on 3?
Oh, it's blurry. I need to see 3 through 5. This is
Kentucky, do you have a request? Do you want to see any of these? Well, you gotta speak up, buddy. All right, here's 3 through 5. Do you have a quiz 3, Kentucky? Do you want me to get one for you? Do you want me to get one for you? Kentucky, do you have one? I can get you one. Okay. All right. Wyatt was asked by her teacher to subtract 7 from a certain number and divide by 14. Instead, Wyatt subtracted 14 and divided by 7 and got 56. So what should he have gotten if he had done the thing he was asked to do? That's the idea. How are we feeling about this?
Oh, well, that's actually not bad.
No, it's not. We just got to figure out what n is, right?
Yeah.
So what can we do to figure out what n is? This problem's tough because we're dividing by 7, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we just times everything by 7? That works. Times every term by 7. It's an equation. You can do that. And you get n minus 14 equals 350 plus 42, which is 392.
What's 5 minus 44?
5 minus 24, negative 19. So that's going to be 406. And if n is 406, so ladies, you are good, right? Okay. If n is 406, then that means he should have gotten this answer. 399 over 14. Right. Which doesn't simplify, but they didn't ask you to. Good job.
I'm gonna look through 4 real quick and see if I can get anything.
Okay. Anybody else want to see anything on quiz 3? Please speak up. We've got a lot of time left, guys. Do I have enough evidence to conclude you know it without the final? Probably. Probably.
I think I'm good on the basics for chapter 4, but there are a lot of intermediates.
Well, we have very few people that are here now, so let's just do whatever you guys want. Because right now, I think it's Haley, it's Kentucky, and it's you.
I guess I need to see 411C for
All right, pause. Does anybody else want anything on quiz 3? Let's, right? Anything at all? Yes? You're sure? Do you know how to do them? Because it doesn't do any good if you don't do it right. Okay. Hi. Over there in the bin. Hi.
I have two things that I need to get done, and then I'm completely done, but I don't know how to do it.
See you tomorrow.
So, when's the last time I can do like check? Should I just like get all of
know,
them
right?
ready for this so I can do on final tomorrow?
Sure. All right. So it's down to Kentucky and Grady then. Kentucky, you're here, buddy. Do you want to see anything with a 3? Do you need a snack? I have granola bars.
Here's a free one, then.
She doesn't want one?
Thank you.
I don't want
Here you go, Fred, man. I have like every single one, not even kidding.
I don't know. See that monkey that I sent?
The thing I was best at in high school was baseball. The second best thing was English. Fun fact.
I will be back tomorrow again.
I don't like how you switch the
Yeah, I think I just
Sorry. Yes. I'm hearing you out on this. All right, this is going to be a very not interesting video because we're not doing a whole lot of math. What do you want?
Okay, so I've done some of the problems on the quizzes so many times, but I did them wrong because of little mistakes. But I'm doing them right. So if I put in my wrong pieces of evidence,
I've already seen it. You don't even put it in.
so I'm done with
I know. I know.
I have no quiz evidence and I only have the exercises. But you cheated.
But you got them right on the final?
I don't think so.
We're getting a little risky here, but.
I'm just gonna put in the quiz info I have,
Okay.
and then whatever I don't have, we can find where.
Mm, okay. All right, so I have like 2 people right now, maybe Haley. Grady wants to go to quiz 4. I'll go to quiz 4 then, bye. I'll go to quiz 4. Oh, boy. I went over there to grab a 4. Tell your parents I told you to go home. Why are you doing that? Get a ride from Adeline. Is your aunt still here? Is Liz still here? We'll check that first, please. So you're lying? That's funny. Oh boy. Not your final, just homework? Oh, brother. You like following made up rules. Fam, she just took it. Fam, do we want to see any of these guys?
The one that hurt.
What? Peace out? Yeah. Which one?
See,
Hmm? Haley gets this wrong because Haley does not do this.
I don't know how to set it up. I can never like where,
According to this, x is 5. So wherever I had an x, I'm going to put a 5. And wherever I put a y, or a y is going to be negative 2. The square only affects this number and that number. What does it mean to square something?
multiply by itself.
Mm-hmm. So this is 10 times what? Mm-hmm.
Negative.
Yeah, it's 4. It will be positive 4 because negative 2 times negative 2 is 4.
So that'd be
And this will be 25 times negative 2.
which is
Negative 50.
Are you gonna post the answers for the exercises?
Oh no, I didn't remember to do that. Because instead of writing it like this, you did it all individually. You have to stop doing that. You have to. Sorry. Yeah, I know, but it's my mic, so it's okay. Okay. Are you feeling better about that one?
yeah.
Okay.
I need to see 4 or 5. You how I'll start off so long.
All right. Taking requests on any of these. Alienable. Once you see it, it's going to be obvious. Expanding means distribute. So on this one right here, Haley, I'm going to distribute the 5 to both terms and get 35r minus 20s, not 25s, because 4 times 5 is 20.
Do we have to do that stupid magic square problem?
Have to is a too strong of a word for this class. Do you want to?
No, but I want to do that.
You'll get an A if you do all the intermediates, but stop pursuing an A. Just do what makes you happy. You're already going to get an A, so stop crying. All right, 3x times everything. What's 3x times x? 3x squared.
And then be 4.
And then we have plus 3xy minus 6xz. I knew it was. Once you see it, it's not bad, but you don't have any experience because we never did the homework, or if we did it really late, or we didn't actually do it, even though we turned it in. Figure that one out. And we didn't try it on the quiz and ask questions on Friday,
Okay.
so you have no experience.
This magic square, never in the notes, never on any of the quizzes.
Hmm.
So it's a made up problem.
You haven't done the homework yet for this week, have you? Yeah.
The magic square.
Oh, but yeah, it was also on the quiz, or on the final. I got rid of it? I could have. I don't remember. Did you know that all the exercises you get every week are stuff that you've never seen before? It's just applying the concept you learned in class.
Stupid magic square problem, it's like,
It's a good test. It's advanced, but it's a good test of your knowledge, right? That's not the attitude that we're looking for here. Yeah. Someone wants to double up Algebra 2 as a freshman. All right, fam, on this one we're minusing, right? So we're not distributing. We're doing x minus 5x, which is negative 4x. Are you guys seeing that? Not distributing. And then 7y is positive, and we're subtracting negative 4y. Now pause. If I was subtracting 4y, it would go down, right? But am I subtracting 4y? It's 11y. You can also do this thing where we talked about earlier of distributing the negative. So you can do x plus 7y, distribute the negative here, you get minus 5x. Distribute the negative here, you get positive 4y. And now it's easy to see it's 11y's, isn't it? Pretty slick, huh? Guys, this class is not that hard. You just have to actually take the class.
So on the final, if I get all the basics for chapter 4 right, that's a 70.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yep. Assuming you did all the homework. Otherwise, it'd be like a 68 or something, but yeah. 19 over 3 is 19 over 3. That sounds right to me. Your aunt is here. She just passed by. Okay. Oh. All right. Turning the page. Does anybody want to see any of these?
I used to
451. What about any of the ones before it?
no.
That's because Grady's been here the other 2 nights. Okay? If you need these, we can do these. Yes? I want to make your day. Okay? Because these are not as hard as you think they are, and they weren't that way for Grady either. He realized, he's like, oh, right? Hooray. She's a machine.
How did I get a C?
What common factor do these 2 terms share?
3.
They share a 3, but what's a bigger number they share? 6. 6 is the biggest number they share. You see, if I take out a 6 from both, I get that. If I put it back, I get the same thing, right? 4 copies. Hopefully you see that. Yeah. Yeah, it's 4 copies. Yeah, it's not hard. It turns out this whole class is actually not that hard. You're way too comfortable. Oh my God, shut up. It took too long. Your joke took too long. No one's listening anymore. All right, over here. Do they have common denominators? No, but we need to get some. Can we just multiply it by y to get rid of this? No, because it's not an equation, right? That would change the problem. If you times by y, it makes it y bigger, and that changes the problem. If it was an equation, if everything gets bigger, well, it's still equal, so who cares? But it's not an equation. So we're going to times by x over x. What is x over x?
1.
Does timesing by 1 change anything?
No.
No, so that's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to make it look a little different. If I times by y over y, that's also timesing by 1. Will that change anything? No, but now do you see we'll get the right denominator? Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. We're adding. This is xy. I mean, I hope so. That was the whole point, right? Make them the same. And then we get y times 3, which is 3y. Now, it said we have to make it one fraction. Okay, well, if they're both divided by xy, we can write it like this.
Are you still making for me?
I am, yes. So you're not going to say profanities like you were earlier.
Whoa.
Shout out to Lexi's parents. She was cussing up a storm. Yep, true story.
Terrible.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. She threw Chewy bars at me. What?
Whoa.
And then she kicked me. And then she kicked me. You were all witnesses.
I'm a witness and I saw
I
it.
might have. Then maybe.
Haley, you saw it, right? She like, sorry.
Haley, she kicked me. She threw bars at me, and then she threatened. She threatened to kill my dog. This is true. This is all true. Do what I want.
I'm blocking you.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. All right, you're canceled. All right. Grady needs to see this one.
Oh, yes, I do.
X in terms of A, B, and C means we want to get X equals a bunch of junk with A, B, and C in it. Okay? So that means everything that's not X has to go to the right side, and everything that is X goes to the left side, okay?
Yeah. X equals
So I need to get rid of this minus B. How do I make that 0? How do I get rid of it? If I subtract B, I'll get negative 2B. Add B. Doesn't that get you 0? And so if I add B to both sides, I end up over here. Once you do one move, rewrite the problem, Haley.
So would
Okay? And now, what do we need to do to get rid of by A? By.
Times by A.
Because what happens when we times by A? We either times by the top or divide by the bottom first. A divided by A is 1. That gets rid of it, doesn't it? 1x, right? So we get 1x, which is what we wanted. Now to do that, you have to multiply every term by A, right? So do you see how this is a term, that's a term? So we're going to get AC plus AB, and we win. You could have also done it this way, where you just said, well, after I get x on its own, A times everything is just this. Right? That also works. A times everything. Right? Treat it like it's one idea. I don't care either or. Up to you. Okay? Feeling better?
Yeah.
Haley, we should lock in from week 1 next semester, right? I've always believed in you. I believed in you since I met you in 8th grade. You remember that? I went over to Mr. Messer's room and I met you, and I met Kentucky. Well, I already knew Kentucky from band, but yeah. I was there for like 1 day or something. And I knew that you have potential. All right. And I still believe that. But potential doesn't mean much after a while. Eventually, you got to make it into something, right? All right. This says B in terms of A, C, and X. So that means we want to get B equals stuff with A in it, stuff with C in it, stuff with X in it. So everything that isn't B must go. Now, notice it's positive B, right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and just make this positive. How can I do that? By moving it over. We did that earlier, right? We get this, right? Add B to both sides. Now, how do I get B on its own? How do I get rid of that? Subtract it so it's gone, right? And that means I have to do it to both sides. But now I get B in terms of AX and C. I win. It turns out to get a 70 in this class, which is more than passing, by the way. Passing is a D. Is not that bad. You just need the basics. However, to learn the basics is the hardest part because you're going from nothing to knowing something, right? To go from the basics to intermediate, it's not so bad because you already have a foundation. So this is the hardest step, but once you do it, it's not so bad, right? I probably, if you send it to me, yeah. And it's all right, and it's all correct, and all organized, and okay, good. Then you have nothing to worry about. You're gonna sweat for a couple of days, but I will. But I've had no time. Do you know why? Because I've been here, and I've been sick, and Abigail's been sick, and Skyward up until like halfway through today. If you tried to plug something in, it took 3 minutes to load a page. So imagine doing that for every grade, for every person. Right? So it just doesn't work. I've used all the time I possibly can. I've been sleeping like 6 or 5 hours a night. So I'm doing as much as I can. But the problem is that everybody and their mom's turning in a ton of late work, which is fine. I got you. But you're going to have to wait. I can't, you know what I mean? Like I can't go any faster. Oh, I will have it graded before grades are locked, guaranteed. I promise you that. Grades don't lock for a while. Okay, so you're gonna sweat a little bit, and that's what you get for not being a good student. But like, I'm not doing it on purpose. Okay, but like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. I've got you. Yeah, what's up?
So with like 2, 3, and 4, I was wondering if I could, like, for my missing stuff, I can just do like the missing folder and put my evidence in there, and like
As long as it's organized where I can clearly find it.
I can organize that.
Whatever you need to do, you need to make sure it's organized enough so I can clearly tell you've got all your evidence. I do not want to spend 10 minutes trying to figure out he got that piece, he got that piece. I want to be like, does he have all the basics? Yes, 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 yes. That basic is done. What about this basic, right?
Okay.
The easier you make it on me, the faster I do. And if it takes a long time, I will literally just put yours at the bottom and go to somebody else's. Because Haley's been waiting patiently and her stuff is nice and organized, I bet. So I'll just get to hers first, right? She deserves that. Good. It's super important because if you do that, I can grade it really fast. But I have to get to it first, right? All right. And the reason why it's backed up is because I had to wait on you. And every night I go home and do the current stuff. And I get it back to you the next day. So it doesn't leave me a lot of time, especially when I'm doing this. So, sorry. You're welcome. Right? I don't know. All right. So we're going to do the intermediates? Yeah. Okay. So, Haley, stop doing these individually. Instead, leave spaces where X and Y were. X is 5. So that's going to be 8. And Y is -2. If you plug it in parentheses, you'll notice that this is going to come out to +4 in the top, right? If you didn't have parentheses, the correct answer would be -4, but you would have been doing it wrong, right? Yes. Correct, because if minusing a regular number goes down, minusing a negative must make it go up. Anyway, that's not this. It was a separate question, just for those of you following along at home. All right, this is 8. 4 over 8, which you could simplify. Not 2. But is this 8 divided by 4? That's why I always say factor first. Do you see how it's 4 times 1 and 4 times 2? 4's divide out, and we get a half. Is it more work? Yes, but you won't make mistakes. It's like I can read your mind. I get to know you guys really well from grading your quizzes and looking at your board work. I really do. I can remember every mistake you made. I've called them out like every time, haven't I? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you root for a team, right? Like if you watch sports, you remember lots of plays and you like know all the facts about the players. You guys are my team. I root for you guys. That's what this means, right? So is it going to come out positive or negative? Well, we start negative, and if we negate it by timesing, it's going to flip it to positive, right?
Yeah.
Now it's negative. Now it's positive. It's negative, right? Get that out of the way. 2 times 2 is? Times 2 is? Times 2 is? Times 2 is 32.
Oh my gosh.
I knew you were going to do it too.
Wait, how did I?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a negative minus a negative.
2 to the 6 is 64. A negative minus a negative. Well,
Would it be
it's,
a negative plus?
yeah, because minusing a negative means you're going up.
That always confuses me.
It's about direction, right? Minusing a negative must be going up because minusing a regular number goes down. Anyway, that's not this for those of you following along at home, but there it is. All right, this one, everybody screws up because they do it Haley's way, which is just do things individually. Stop doing that. Just make mini parentheses. It's okay. It's very cutesy. Y is negative 2. So this is negative 2, and this is negative 2. And x is 5. So this is 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what this is, and we're going to times it by this, right? So first off, we're not going to combine those two because these are separate terms. What is this? That's negative 6. So we have negative 6 minus 5, and we're going to times that by negative 6 plus 5. First off, what's negative 6 plus 5? Negative 1. We're down 6, go up 5, we're still down 1. And this is negative what? Very good. If we times these, is it going to come out negative or positive? Positive 11. Correct. That's an intermediate question. That's how you get an A in this class. This happens every year, Haley, to students. It does. I know. And it's not just you, it's every student. But this group of students I have right now is different. You guys don't cry and give up. You do a little bit, and then I kick you, and you actually stop giving up. But you guys, you're fighters. You're ready. I've been waiting for you guys. I've been waiting for like 5 years for you guys. I need students that have the will. And once they have the will, oh, I got the rest. Don't you worry about that. A times C, because here's A, here's C, right? A times B, and then add on B times C. These are all separate terms, right? So we're not going to add them yet. We're going to multiply. So this says times by 2, divide by 3. Let's divide by 3 first. What's 9 divided by 3? So this divides out to 3, and 3 times 2 is 6, right? All right, what's what's 2/3 times negative 1? 2/3 times negative 1.
Oh, is it negative?
It's negative 2/3. Right, timesing by 1 doesn't change it, but timesing by negative 1 makes it negative. Right? 32 divided by 4 is 8. 32 divided by 4 is 8.
Okay, but
42 divided by 6 is 7. So what's the why did you get that?
I do like that. I don't know how many times.
You made a mistake?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Do it.
Okay, so
I understand that 15
Mhm.
is right.
okay. Well then move on. Move on. Do something else. No more. No more. No more. It's okay. negative, or sorry, yes, negative 6. And this is minus 9, right, Haley? All right, can we just combine all these? We need common denominators. That's a good idea if this was an equation. Is it an equation? No, if I times everything by 3, it's going to get bigger.
Oh, yeah.
And then that'll change the problem. If it was equaling something, then everything would get bigger, and that's okay, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to times by 3 over 3. Because what is 3 over 3? And that won't change anything. So we get 18 over 3. Yes, these would divide out, but that wasn't the point, right? We want to have a 3 here. I know 18 over 3 is 6. I wasn't changing the problem. I want to have a 3 in the bottom so I can combine it with this, right? So don't undo your hard work. A lot of people do that, right? They get this and they're like, oh, that simplifies to 6. Girl, that's where you just came from. All right, same thing here. This is going to be 27 over 3, but negative. So isn't this negative 29 thirds?
Yeah.
And then if I add 18, here's negative 29, right? Plus an 18, because it's positive, is negative 11 thirds. So that was negative 29 plus 18, negative 11. Okay, thirds. That one's kind of tough.
I just realized I have no one.
2 thirds minus 1 squared times c. What does it mean to square something? Times it by itself. What's negative 1 times negative 1? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's positive 1 times 9? All right, I'm going to stop right there just so we keep track of it. Are we seeing how I got there?
Yeah.
6.
Ah, that was a lot easier than the first one. Honestly, I think
You like Cheetos? Do you like candy? What about Rice Krispies? I'm going to find heavier things to throw. Have a Rice Krispie. It curved. Christina can have a Rice Krispie. Yeah. All right. Does anybody want to see any of these? This is probably the most chill of these videos. The people at home are falling
I
asleep.
think I need to see this page and
Okay. Is this an equation? Is this an equation?
no, it's not.
So we can't times everything by 3. That would change the problem, right? So first off, do I need common denominators for these two? No, right? They're already c squareds. Let's just put them together. How many c squareds will this be? 9 of them. We're just adding them, right?
Yeah.
Now, I would love to combine this and this, but I can't because even though they're d squareds, right, I can't do it because they're not common denominators. So what can I do to give this a common denominator? Yeah. So what we'll end up with is 1d squared over 3 minus 12d squareds over 3. Are you seeing that? 12d squared's negative over 3. And if you divide by 3, it gets back. We didn't change anything. We just made it look different, right? Changed our perspective. This, by the way, was positive. Okay? So if I have one of them and I'm taking away 12 of them, I've got negative 11 of them. Thirds, right? And then I'm never going to be able to combine these even if I had common denominators because one of them's c squared and one of them's d squared, so we might as well just do this. Right? It didn't say make it one fraction, so as long as we got all the c squareds together and the d squareds together, I'm fine.
I think what I do is I don't realize it's not I keep
Yep, you do. You did that at least the last time, I think, but yes.
Yeah.
Over here, can we times everything by 3c to get the 3c out of the bottom? It's not an equation. That would increase everything by 3c, and then it won't be the same thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to get common denominators by timesing this by 3 over 3. That's it. What are we going to end up with? We're going to have 6a over 3c plus 3a over 3c plus 5 over 3c. See how I'm leaving those alone because they're already over 3c. Everything's over 3c. Let's combine like terms. I've got 6a plus 3a. That's 9a, right? Don't I also have another 3a here? 12a. And I've got 5 plus negative 8. Isn't that 5 minus 8? Negative 3. Now, it did say simplify. It did say simplify. Do you see how these have a common factor of 3? I can tell it's co without even looking up. It's the shoes. Go, did you have braces and you got them off or something?
I've never had braces.
Did I mention that like last week or something? Yeah, your smile's just really nice. All right. So now we can divide safely. After you factor, you can divide. Because it's all timesing. 3 times something divided by 3 times something. Okay. So that's the simplest form. After you divide out the 3 from everything. Okay. Haley, do you want to see these guys? Five times 3 is 15. It's just timesing, so it doesn't matter what order we do it in. X times x squared is x cubed, right? 3 of them being multiplied. Y cubed times y cubed is y to the 6th. Z to the 4th times z is z to the 5th. It's that easy. Yes. That's why I wrote that, like, I think twice on your quiz, right? It's not because I'm like, do it my way. I don't care. I'm doing it because I know that's what's going to help, right? I'm looking at what you're doing, and I know the issue, right? It's like being a good doctor. On the bottom one? P equals Q, that's good, but what do they equal? And then that one, how do you know there's one solution? How do you know it's not infinite solutions? How do you know it's not no solution, right? All right, fam. This next one is 2 times 3 times 4 times 2. R to the 3rd, R to the 6th, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Times S to the 6th, 9th. This is a medium level, intermediate. Yes, you are. This entire class is about finding the smoothest way to do it. And not just like a trick, but a way that makes sense, right? It can't just be a trick, because if it's a trick, you're going to forget it or do it wrong. But if it makes sense and it's super fast, that's the way we want. That's how mathematicians do it. Haley, take it to the 4th power, right? Times it by itself 4 times. So we're going to do x cubed times x cubed times x cubed times x cubed. That's x to the 12th, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? And then y to the 16th. Because y to the 4th times y to the 4th times y to the 4th times y to the 4th is a total of 16 y's being multiplied. Over here, everybody does the first bit right. They do z to the 9th, because z cubed times z cubed times z cubed is z to the 9th. V to the 4th times v to the 4th times v to the 4th is v to the 12th. But they forget negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Write it out if you're unsure. Is it going to come out negative or positive? This is going to be positive 4. 2 cubed is 8. Yeah, and because it's odd, right? There's an odd number of negatives. It'll come out negative. Yeah. Graz. All right, now Grady wanted to see these. If I gave you 18 over 27, you could simplify that, right? What common factor do 18 and 27 share? 9, right? This is 9 times 2, and 9 times 3. The 9s divide out, right? So we get 2 over 3. I have a squared over a to the 5th. Won't all the a's divide out except for 3 in the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
In the bottom, yeah. All of the b's divide out except for 1 in the bottom. Yeah, or b to the 1st. It's the same thing, right? If you really wanted to, you could have also written it this way. Because remember, negative exponents mean divide. But that's weird. I just think it's weird. This makes more sense to me. All right. Over here, what common factor do negative 3 and negative 9 share? Negative 3, right? So I'm not even going to write times 1. This is negative 3 times 3, right? So these divide out. 3 on the bottom. Yep.
Oh, we can't see it.
My bad. X squared divided by x squared is 1, right? Okay, so we can ignore that because we're timesing and dividing. Dividing and timesing by 1 doesn't do anything. Z or y to the 7th over y to the 5th. On top. Z over z to the 4th. 1 z divides out, and 3 z's are left over. Stop looking for tricks. Think about it, right? 1 divides out, so we get 3 left over. Okay, anything else we want to see?
I'll see one more. I need 4, 5, 1.
Haley, do you want to see any of these guys? Times by 8, times by x to the 4th, times by t squared. That's how we get from there to there, right? All of it's easy. All right, Haley, we're going to pretend this is a different problem because I want to show you something cool. Do you see how we have 3 of these? And see we have 5 of the same thing because I changed it? If I have 3 of them minus 5 of them, isn't that negative 2 of them? And now I can just distribute the negative 2. And that's a lot easier than distributing and putting it all together. There you go. Every day is a good day. Okay? Oh. Thank you. All right, factoring. What common factor do each of these terms share? What else? They both share an x, at least one x, and one y. You see how this back to this gets us this? What do I times 4xy by to get back to this? Are you seeing it? Yeah. Nothing more we can take out, right? So we know we got it all. What's the the largest common factor I can take out of all these?
7.
I'd love to take out a t, but does this have a t? No. So we have r squared t squared left over, right? We have minus r squared t left over, because that gets us 7r cubed t negative, right? And then last but not least, what do you times 7r by to get back to 7r? Good job. Gotta have that plus 1 so you get all 3 of them, right? All right, last one. What's the greatest common factor you can take out? Oop, can't take out a 9. Yeah, let's do a negative 3 actually. Yeah, what's up? Mm-hmm. What's the biggest amount of a we can take out? 1a. What, can we take out a b from everything? You almost didn't notice the b, did you? Yeah, we can't take out a b from everything, so it's got to say, what about a c? Can we take out at least, we can take out one c, right? So what we're left with is 6a cubed c to the 4th, right? Minus 3, because that will get us back to plus 9, right? A c to the 4th. And then negative 3ac times what gets you back to this? It would be, except we're missing a b, so it'd be 1b. That was really good. I said that the other night because I forgot there was a b there. If there wasn't a b, yeah, 1.
On the final, do we, like, if we don't put negative 3ac, we just put 3ac and we make the opposite?
Here's the other answer you could have had. Technically, this also works,
Yeah.
right? Because the negatives are already there. Either or. Either or. Yes. Yes. To take right now? Yeah, I'll do that. Hold on. Prop that up. Did you do a chapter 5 quiz in homeroom today? Okay, I'm going to get you one. In fact, Harper, I'm just going to give you your old one.
Harper, you missed it. What's
then she kicked me and then killed my dog.
Yeah.
It was all on YouTube. It was crazy. We were, yep. That's right. That's pretty crazy. It happened. Like and subscribe. All right. Quiz 4. Last 2 intermediate problems. Haley, let's talk about this. Can we multiply to get rid of the denominators? No, because it's not an equation. We got to get commie denomies. How do I make a match? We can times by 2. We can times by 2x over 2x. Because that'll make it 10x squared. Right? Yeah, you kind of saw it. You kind of saw it, right? And again, you just need experience. That's what you're missing. That's why it's so hard to learn stuff at the last minute, because what you really need is time. All right, now, see how there's 2 terms? 2x times 7, 14x. 2x times negative y, negative 2xy. Now, when I combine them, danger, warning, danger, warning, danger. Okay? Check this out. We do 3y minus 14x, but we're supposed to minus all of this, right? What happens when you minus negative 2xy? Words are hard. But yeah, you got it, right? That's the thing. You're going to minus all of this. So minusing this is just negative, but minusing this will be positive, right? Okay. All right. Now, let's go down here. We saw this one earlier on the basics, so why is it back? A in terms of B, C, and X. So A is in the denominator. So here's my advice. If that's what makes this hard, why don't we just get rid of A in the denominator first? How do we get rid of A in the denominator? Times everything by A, right? Do not do 2 steps at once. That becomes 1, because A divided by A is 1, right? 1 times X is X. That's why it was a good move, right? Now A is not in the denominator. It's here and here. Everything with A needs to go to one side, okay? So I'm going to add that over. And it almost looks like we're getting X on its own, right? Because we are. But here's the big brain play. Here's the thing that a pre-algebra student will not know, but you will. See how A is in 2 spots? I want it in 1 spot. I'm not going to divide. I'm not going to multiply. I'm not going to subtract. I'm not going to add. I'm going to factor it. Do you see how that got me A in 1 spot? Do you see how that got me A in 1 spot?
Yeah, wait.
Now, fam, this is A times something, right?
Yeah.
If this was A times 5, wouldn't you divide by 5?
Yeah.
So it's A times something, so we're going to divide by C plus B. Divide that from both sides. That's the big brain play. That's why this one's tough. 30 or 64. Mm-hmm.
We literally talked about it this morning that he's not gonna say he's ready to go, but we're gonna go to practice, but our mom has to come back. Almost an hour later,
Okay.
and now he's like, I'm ready to go.
How was I supposed to know?
Cause I told you.
How was I supposed to know how far? Alright, bet.
I've never met twins that hate each other, but this, there you go. Like, imagine being twins, but you hate. Yeah. All right, and the rest are advanced. So we're going to stop there and ask if anybody wants to see another quiz.
Can I look through these if I need anything?
All right, we've done 2, we've done 4, but we can go back. No, it was 3, wasn't it? No, it was 2, it was 2. We've done 2, we've done 4, but we can go back to 2 if you want. Does anybody want 1, 3, or 5? Well, if nobody wants anything else, we're just going to go home, and then Harper's going to be really mad. You cannot. You're taking your final. That's fine. All right. Yeah, if you don't want to see any more and you want us to go home and watch the video, that's fine by me. But I will stay for her, and in another hour, I'm doing Algebra 2, right? So this is my life in the last, 2 weeks of the semester. So you want to see 551? Okay. All right, let me go grab a copy of Quiz 5. All right. So 551. So that's chapter 5, section 5, exercise 1. And apparently this thing is advanced. Okay. Ooh. If you know your basics, you actually, this one's not that hard. So do we understand how to do elimination? Yeah, this one looks super hard, but it's actually not, right? Mm-hmm. Check this out. There's a really slick way of doing this. You could times by x and y to everything to get rid of the denominators. That's totally fine. It's an equation, right? However, what if I just times all of this by 3? It won't get rid of the denominators, but it will do something. It'll become 6 over x minus 15 over y equals 3 times 10 is 30, right? And 3 times 6 is 18. Yes?
If I have y to the fifth into the power and then outside, do I multiply or add the
What's the power on the outside? So you're doing y to the 5th times 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 y to the 5th. How many y to the 5ths was that? Yes, Haley. Yes. If you subtract these, which is a legal move, it eliminates one of the variables. That's why we call it elimination. And the reason we can do this is because, not just because they're 6 and 6, but do you see how they're literally the same thing? Anything minus itself is 0. So we end up with this. Now careful. If we're minusing a negative 15 over y, it's really adding it, so it's 22 over y, yeah. Right? Right? Minusing a negative is the same thing as adding. Now, 4 minus 48 is negative. Negative? Yes. Is this 7 minus 15? It's 7 minus negative 15. Subtractions and negatives are the same thing. It's how you interpret it. Mind blowing, right? Mm-hmm. I wish someone had told me that too when I was in school. And maybe you had been told it, but you just weren't, focusing that day. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. Hi, Andy. Is 4 minus 48 going to come out negative or positive? Negative 44, right? Or 4 above, go down 48. So now the question is, what do you divide 22 by to get this? Don't say 2. Don't say negative 2. That gets you 11. What number fits into 22 44 times? And we want it negative, right? Now, I'm going to show you how you could figure that out if you didn't think like that, okay? A half fits into this 44 times, and negative makes it negative, right? But I'm going to show you how you can think about it. What if I just times everything by y? That's an equation, you can do that. And we get 22 equals negative 44y times by a half, negative a half. That'll make it positive. Divide by 2 gets you 22, right? Or you could have done this, divided by negative 44 to everything. Eventually you got to turn your brain on, right? But that's the idea. Yeah. Maybe. Hold on. So if y is negative a half, now we need to find out what x is. Well, if y is negative a half, that means I know this. right? That's this guy. How many times does a half fit into 5? How many times does a half fit into 1? So twice. It fits twice, right? So a half fits into 1 twice. It fits into 2 4 times. 6 3 times. Or sorry, 3 6 times. It fits into 4 8 times. It fits into 5 10 times. Now, this will come out positive, right? Okay. Right? That's what division means. How many times does this fit into that, right? 10 times and it'll be positive. What do you add to 10 to get 16? So what do we know? We know this equals 6, right? What number fits into 2 6 times? What number fits into 2 6 times? It's a fraction, isn't it? What number fits into 2 6 times? A third. Right? Aren't there 3/3 in 1? And there's 6/3 in 2, right? There you go. Or times everything by x, and you get 2 equals 6 times x. Divide everything by 6. Right? I don't know. Yes. Harper wants to jump back to quiz 2. What do you want to know about quiz 2? 241 AB. No, but you can try. Told you. We already went over this one, Harper. I know. So I'm going to show it on screen and then we're going to jump back. Do you see how I factored out a 5 from everything? And then I can divide safely? Can I factor out anything else? No. See how I factored out a 3R from everything? And I factored out a 3R from the bottom. 3 R's divide out. Can't factor out anything else. That's it. It is once you see it. Right. All right. Any others that we want to see? Remember, you got to get all the basics before you can get the intermediates. Right? You can't just be like, I'm going to get all the good ones. You want to do these? Okay. Let's do these. All right. So let's get x in terms of y. You know what that means. Get x on its own, right? So here's our equation. Everything that's not x must go. So I'll add that over, right? So now we're here. And then this is 3x. I want x. So what do I need to do? Look who it is. I want x. I have 3x. What should I do? I want this to be 1x. So how do I do it? Divided by 3. Now, if you do 3x divided by 3x, you get 1, right? This gets you 1x, right? What is 7 plus 4y divided by 3? It's this. Fractions or division for lazy people. Are either of these divisible by 3? No, you have to divide both of them. That's the rule. So let's just leave it, right? Harper? All right, after this. Y in terms of x, same thing. So y's got to get on its own. That's got to go. How do I make this 0? So now we're here. What are we going to divide by this time? If I divide by 4, I get negative y. If you divide by regular 4, negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1, right? We don't want negative 1. Divide by itself to get 1, right? And divided by itself is 1. It's going to take experience and time, Haley, but you've got the ability. No. What you should have done is really taking Algebra 1, but you didn't. You were here, but you didn't really take the class.
It's okay, I did it.
Well, you did as of, what, 6 weeks ago or something? But yeah.
Is that why I understand chapter 5?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's okay, because chapter 5 is the most important.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. You need to know all the other stuff to understand 5, kind of. So it's gonna help you figure out 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah. All right, fam. I need numbers that make this work. So do you see how if Q is 1 and P is 1, it works? 3 minus 2 is 1. Right? I just came up with that because it was easy. Give me a different number for Q. Just any number. 2? So that means this is 6. So Haley, 6 minus what gets you 1? Try again.
Oh my gosh.
6 minus 5. So the question is, it's okay. So the question is, how do we make this 5? What times 2 gets you 5? 5 halves, because the 2's divide out. Yeah, but do you see how if I plug that in here, the 2's divide out, and I get minus 5? All right, what if 3 was the number? Then we get 9, right? 9 minus 8, so we get a nice number. That's nice. There are 3 possible answers. There are more too. Yes, on a quiz 5, right? Quiz 3, all right. Here's 335. We did it earlier. Wyatt was asked to take a number and subtract 7 and divide it by 14. He didn't do that. Instead, he subtracted 14 and divided by 7 and got 56. So what would he have got if he did the right thing? Well, first we got to find out what n is. We times by 7 because it's an equation. You can do that. These divide out.
Oh, I was looking at the other one. I was like,
Yeah, so this we're timesing by 7, and you get this. And if you add 14, you get 406. So n is 406. So you could, or you could just do this minus 7 is 399 over 14, and you win, right?
does it matter which one I do first?
You need to do this one first because this one isn't solvable, right? So you have to do this first. Okay? It's the last name of a senior at this school. That's right. She was in this class. If there are twice as many dimes as nickels, okay, so this is the number of dimes, this is the number of nickels. We want to know how many nickels, right? Relax. Is this true? Does she have more dimes or nickels? So twice as many, so we got to double the smaller one to make it equal, right? Okay. So we know that. We also know that she has a total of 2650. Well, that means if we take the value of every nickel, 0.05 cents, right? $0.05, and we add it to the value of every dime, 0.10D, that'll get us the total value, right? Well, timesing by 10, remember 10 cents means this. Cent means century. So we got to times by 100, right? That'll move the decimal place over twice. So if we do that, that'll work. I'll write that here really quickly. D equals 2n, and this will be 5n plus 10d equals 2650. Yeah, d is 2n. So that means we can replace d with 2n. Right? That means we have 20 n's plus 5 n's is 25 n's. And then you need to figure out what times 25 gets you to 2650. 100 gets you 2500, right? And there'd be 150 left over, so that's 6 25s. $1.50 is 6 quarters, right? So it's 106. 106 nickels.
And then chapter 4.
Okay.
I mean,
We are all over the place.
I know.
That's okay. Why are we getting no sound? Hold on. Madison's messaging me. Which one on 4?
424.
Okay. They still seem to have not figured it out. So I'm going to have to check that real quick. 424. Right. I'm going to show it and leave it alone. Don't look at this. This is confusing. That's just another alternate answer. Okay. I'm going to figure out why there's no Google Classroom has no sound. Or is it no video? Has no audio. All right, welcome to Mr. Max Review Day 2. I hear audio.
Maybe she's just not going to.
Hey, don't be saying that. That's not nice, and it's not true either. Well, sorry.
Did you know I've done that before? I went to my mom. I was like, my phone's not working. I just didn't
You
turn
are
it
an
on.
iPad kid. Hold on one second.
I understand. I understand.
Okay, how can I help? Won't that come out to negative? No, won't that come out to 1? Is that true? Negative 40 times negative 40 times negative 40 times negative 40 is positive. Both numbers are positive. Pardon me. Yep. All right, fam.
I understand A but not B.
Oh. Say it again. 3, 4, and 5 to take.
Yeah, actually, can I take a quiz for 3 and 4 and then not?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't need.
Here's 3. Here's 4. Oh, that's not 4. That's 11. That looks like a 4. Another 3. Here's a 4. Here we go. Ah! Yes. 1 over 1, or 1 and 1 and 2 and 2 is 1 over 4.
B.
All right, part B. Negative 3 and negative 9 share a common factor of negative 3, right? Negative 3 times 1 and negative 3 times 3. Negative 3's divide out, so we get a 3. What's x squared divided by x squared?
What is that thing on the top?
That?
Like, yeah.
Don't worry about that. Negative 3's divide out, you're left with 3. What's x squared over x squared? 1. And we can ignore it because we're dividing and timesing, right? Timesing by 1, dividing by 1 doesn't do anything. What's y to the 5th divide, or y to the 7th divided by y to the 5th? Y squared with 2 on top, right? And z over z to the 4th? All the z's divide out except for 3 on the bottom, right? That's it.
I actually know what
Yeah, the negatives divide out. Anything divided by itself is 1. All right. Okay. I've got lots of quizzes, and we've done this in a terrible order. But that's okay. We have not looked at one yet today. What do we guys want to look at? I mean, you're here. We've got, what, 45 minutes left in this review? You tell me. If you're like, I'm good, I think, and you want to go home and, like, check out the other videos for other things, you can do that. That's fine. But I'm here. So, Haley, what would you like to see? That's okay. That's okay. That's how it be sometimes. Which one? What quiz? 5.11? Yeah, go ahead and look at it. Get X on its own, right?
When will you have a chance to update my 2, 3, 4?
Well, Skyward actually loads now, so that's good. Tonight, I might be doing more after 10 o'clock or after 9 o'clock for another student. So probably not tonight, because I got to grade quizzes from the day as well. But I promise you, as soon as I can, I will. I promise before the grades are due. Yeah, you might need to sweat a little bit into Christmas break, but like if you know you've turned it in, you know you've done it right, you have nothing to worry about. The grade will be fine, right? I promise. I wish you didn't have to sweat, but that's just part of turning in things late, right? Yes. I can. All right, so Haley, are we done with this review session? Should I turn off the video, or what do you want to do? All right, I'll be back after I work with Jaden. All right, we'll be back. This is a very informal. All right. Watch out for minus sign. Haley, what more do you want to see from chapter 5? You don't want to see any more from chapter 5? For now or in general? Okay, all right. Kentucky, it's just you and me right now. What can I do for you? I think there's an X or a Y or something there, isn't there? Was there an X and a Y on both of them originally? Then yeah. And it's negative 7Y, right? All right, Kentucky's sleeping. To be clear, Kentucky's mom, who is watching this video right now, your son is sleeping. All right, Haley, is there anything else I can do for you? So we're good forever. Okay, so I'll just sit here and wait. This is exciting content. Okay. All right, well, I'll just sit here and wait, and you let me know if you need something. I'm going to take a quick water break, and then I'll be back. That's fine. I'm here for you guys. Yeah, I don't know if Madison ever figured out the audio issue. I'm going to go fill up my water bottle. It's my YouTube channel. I can do whatever I want. Follow me. You know, what is it? What is it? Capture me. I forget the command. Oh, it's track me. Track me. It is. It's just looking for me. Track me. Oh, it lost me. I moved too quick. Over here. Turn. Why won't you turn? Follow me. He's struggling. Track me. I don't know why it's not following. It's almost like it's hit its limit. It's weird. Undo ASMR. Position 1. Yeah. That'll work. You can't get anything else every 3.
Just, I'm gonna start with 3 really quick. We'll do it. Check 3.
I get you one.
Actually, no, wait. I'm lying.
Yeah. Yeah, 30 minutes and then it's out of the 2 times. Nobody's saying anything to you? You're sure? Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if Madison figured out the YouTube video or not. What? 5, 6, 4? Yes. All right. Let's move this back. Oh, this? No. Just no. Nobody's ready for this. Just don't. It's fine. It's okay. We're not ready. Okay. whatever you want, I'll do. You also have to get stuff right in the final. Right? That's the whole point. I'll do what Lexi wants and post the answer key for the homework. That can work. No, this is for your test. So this is so you know, like, you don't even need to upload any of that one. You get this whole box, right? You just need to upload all one thing that's going on the test. So I'm not gonna change anything here. All you have to do is upload this in full because I've been talking about it, and then I'll make it good. Does that make sense?
So it's like, I make the check it folder and
You screenshot this stuff and the basics for this box, right? All these guys.
Oh.
You don't need to do 311 or if you want to do that, you got that on the test. Same thing with you need to see the yeah, go ahead and upload those there. And then send me that folder when you're done, make sure I have permission to access it. And that'll change your grade once I get to it, but I'm not gonna be done helping kids until probably around midnight tonight, I would imagine. Yeah, it's just same thing. Put it into folders, make sure it's organized. Good. Yes.
Wait, if I didn't share my algebra one, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't do.
Okay, just make sure it works. 16. Oh. 5.5 and 5 points. Okay.
What am I doing? That's fine. Yeah, one of those got moved somewhere on it, but don't worry about it. My guess is all the year for it is not getting back. They got it in actually.
All right, does anybody else think we need to record any more for today for Algebra 1? We've got 20 more minutes. Okay, all right, then I'm gonna turn off the stream, and I'm gonna switch over to Algebra 2 stuff in 20 minutes.